The city lights outside painted soft gold across the walls. Jungkook's lips were swollen from Taehyung's breath uneven as he lay beneath the sheets, Taehyung's hand resting lightly on his waist, as if even now, he wasn't sure he was allowed to hold him. They weren't doing anything more. They didn't need to. The silence said enough. "Why do you keep pushing me away if you're the one who pulls me back in?" Jungkook whispered into the dim room, his voice a fragile thing between them. Taehyung was quiet for a long time. Then, "Because I don't trust myself with you." Jungkook turned his head slowly, eyes meeting Taehyung's in the dark. "You think you'll hurt me?" "I always do," Taehyung said simply. Jungkook's chest ached at the honesty in that. He wasn't used to this side of him. The one that dropped his walls just enough to show the broken pieces underneath the cold exterior. "Then don't hurt me," Jungkook said. "It's that simple." Taehyung gave a short breath, half laugh, half disbelief. "Nothing is simple with me, Jungkook. I come with power, eyes on me constantly, expectations, family that will tear you apart just for being near me. I'm not the guy who gets to love quietly." "You don't have to love me," Jungkook said gently. "But don't pretend you don't feel it." Taehyung stared at him. And Jungkook saw it, the war behind his gaze. The desperate pull between wanting to hold on and needing to let go. Then slowly, carefully, Taehyung wrapped his arm around Jungkook's waist and pulled him closer. Not forcefully. Not like the stranger from that night. But like a man terrified of being allowed to feel. Jungkook's cheek rested against Taehyung's chest. He could hear his heartbeat. Fast. Real. "I haven't done this in years," Taehyung murmured. "What?" "Sleep beside someone." "No." "Sleep beside someone without wanting to disappear before morning?" Jungkook didn't reply. He didn't need to. Because Taehyung's fingers were already threading gently through his hair. His thumb tracing over the slope of Jungkook's shoulder. And when he whispered, "Good night, Jungkook," it wasn't cold. It wasn't casual. It was careful. Tender. Almost protective. And that night, even in a foreign city, in the bed of a billionaire who didn't do love, Jungkook fell asleep in the arms of a man who held him like he already belonged to him. The sun filtered in through gauzy curtains, casting pale morning light across the luxurious Tokyo suite. Jungkook stirred awake slowly, warmth still lingering on his skin, memories flooding in like a quiet tide. Taehyung's arm had been wrapped around him the whole night. His breath on the back of Jungkook's neck. The steady heartbeat he had fallen asleep to. The safety. The silence. The surrender. But now, the bed was empty. The air colder. Taehyung was gone. Jungkook sat up, blinking groggily. His side of the bed was still warm, but the other side was already untouched. Clean. Distant. Just like the first time. He exhaled shakily, running a hand through his hair. So he really did it again. 2 hours later, the corporate office, Tokyo branch. The conference room buzzed with voices in multiple languages. Executives, designers, marketing heads, all gathered for the major presentation that could redefine Kim Corporation's brand image in Asia. Jungkook walked in with the design team, dressed in a pressed black shirt, his tablet clutched tightly in his hand. He was trying to focus, trying to be the intern with promise, not the boy who had slept in the CEO's arms the night before. But then Taehyung entered. Sleek charcoal suit. Pocket square. Cufflinks. Confidence sharp as a blade. His presence silenced the room like the arrival of royalty. Jungkook's heart picked up speed. Taehyung didn't look at him. Not once. He greeted the executives, nodded at the directors, made polite eye contact with every single person in the room, except Jungkook. Like he didn't exist. Jungkook swallowed down the lump rising in his throat. The ache loomed fast and brutal. Not because he expected affection, but because last night, Taehyung had held him like he meant something. Like he was more than just a body in a stranger's bed. And now, he was invisible again. The presentation started. Taehyung stood at the front, cool and composed. Our new design vision focuses on personal intimacy between the brand and the consumer. Connection. Story. Depth. He clicked through slides Jungkook had designed, every one of them crafted with care. Not once did he mention Jungkook's name. And yet, every time his hand brushed over the clicker, every time his eyes passed the design notes, Jungkook could feel it. That tension. The words unspoken. The weight of everything they didn't dare say. After the meeting. "You did well," Jungkook's team lead said, clapping him on the back. "CEO Kim approved all your slides. Quiet kid like you? Didn't expect it." Jungkook smiled weakly, bowing politely. Taehyung stood by the elevator across the hall, surrounded by foreign investors. He looked calm, confident, untouchable. Jungkook didn't expect anything. But as he passed by, heart trembling, pretending to check his phone, he risked a glance. Taehyung didn't look at him. Not even a flicker. As if he hadn't whispered Jungkook's name into his skin just hours before. Back in the room, Jungkook sat on the bed, staring blankly at the carpet. He wanted to be stronger than this. But the truth was simple. It hurt. Worse than he thought it would. Because it wasn't the silence that crushed him. It was how effortlessly Taehyung could switch off. How one night could mean everything to Jungkook, and nothing to him. Or maybe it did mean something. And that was the part Taehyung was running from. The Tokyo sky was soft and grey as the company cars lined up outside the hotel for departure. Jungkook had already packed. He stood in the marble lobby with his small suitcase, headphones and Becau music playing, waiting for the others, waiting to go home, to breathe, to forget the feeling of Taehyung's arms around him. The feeling that was slowly becoming poison. Taehyung hadn't spoken to him once since the presentation. Not during the post-meeting dinner. Not during the ride back to the hotel. Not even in the hallway they shared last night. Jungkook was getting good at pretending too. He'd smiled at colleagues, held casual conversations, even joked about Tokyo's vending machines. But inside, he was unraveling. Because it wasn't just that Taehyung was cold. It was that he wasn't always. He'd been warm, gentle, real. And now he was gone, but still standing just meters away. Taehyung stood across the lobby in an all-black suit, phone at his ear, gaze fixed out the window like a statue carved from glass and distance. His jaw was tense. But his eyes, they flicked toward Jungkook. Only once. Quick. Careful. Controlled. But not fast enough to hide it. Jungkook caught it. And for a second, the world dulled around them. The lobby noise. The footsteps. The horns outside. Everything blurred, except that one look. A single glance. Too long for indifference. Too short for confession. Then Taehyung looked away. And Jungkook did too. On the way to the airport, Jungkook was placed in a different car. He didn't ask why. He didn't care anymore. But as the black tinted car began to roll past the front entrance, he glanced out the window, and saw Taehyung standing just beside the revolving doors, phone still in hand, but not speaking anymore. Just watching. Their eyes met through the glass. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't cinematic. It was quiet. But Jungkook could read it all. There was something behind Taehyung's stare. Something that screamed, "I wish I could go after you. I wish I was someone who could hold on to you without destroying you." But wishes were nothing in his world. And Jungkook wasn't going to beg. He turned his head, letting the tinted glass blur Taehyung out of sight. Back in Seoul, 2 days later, Jungkook's inbox was flooded with feedback from the Tokyo trip. Clients praised his work. His team lead offered him a 6-month extension. HR asked if he'd be interested in a permanent junior position. Everything was going right, except for the fact that he hadn't seen or heard from Taehyung since. Not even an email. Not even a forwarded note. Just silence. That night, Jungkook sat on the rooftop of his apartment building, knees pulled to his chest, Tokyo's skyline just a memory now. He told himself not to feel. He told himself it was just one night. But the look Taehyung gave him before he left, that look had said everything. He was hurting too. He was just too good at hiding it. Too afraid to let someone in. Too afraid to lose control. But Jungkook didn't know how long he could play this game. Because the more Taehyung distanced himself, the more Jungkook realized he'd already fallen.